Hmm. It's very interesting. Yeah. So the way you talk about creating a safe space for people is in relation to these things you just talk about now, like purpose or your story, or kind of like what are the minutia of the things that really make you tick. It's very, very different from the way we normally hear, in the culture, people talk about a safe space. So like canceling or censoring folks who have views that you don't agree with. In your case, you've said the real goal of safety is getting people to rock and roll. So to perform their best, to deliver more value, again, a positive goal, like a goal of engagement, right? And so in relation to the stuff that you just talked about now, you've mentioned a tool that you use, your whiteboard or your North Star sessions, where you really unlock people's childhood desires, what they wanted to be when they grew up, when they were a child, or what really resonates with them, what makes them tick. For example, the musician, basically like figure out their purpose a little bit and how they can be energized by this at work and their lives, I guess, more generously. And I really like the way that you also mentioned in one of your interviews how you start these sessions by asking people to be big in the room. So how do you go about tapping into a person's sense of purpose to unleash, I guess, the best version of themselves? Why is it so important from your perspective? And, maybe do you have other examples of how when this really made a difference for someone?
Yes, I love it. Okay. All of us carry limiting beliefs inside of us, imposter syndrome, negative narratives, every single one of us. And if someone says they don't, that's not true, because it is who we are. I don't know why. I'd like to understand the neuroscience of it, but I don't at this moment. But what I do know is when someone comes into the room to do something with me, explore, be curious about something, I want to know, I'm looking for what is blocking them, what is limiting them. And it is always going to be something they are telling themselves. I am dumb. I don't deserve this place. That person got the raise. I should have gotten the raise, but I guess they're smarter than me. I'm going to get found out, all of that stuff. Everything that goes on in our brains right here, all of that negative narrative is a lie. How do I know it's a lie? Because this person comes in and they say, I'm dumb. I really shouldn't be here. I think I think I'm going to quit. I'm just dumb. First of all, what a terrible thing to say to yourself. But I'm sure they said a lot worse, actually, that they're just giving me the highlight. Okay, my friend, how do we know that you are not intelligent? Please tell me, because I want to write that down. Here it is. I am dumb. I don't get all of my work done on a daily basis. That is what they're coming to me to say. How do we know? I'm still waiting. How do we know you're dumb? Oh, what it sounds like you're saying is we need to help you with your energy management and your time management. You're not dumb. You just maybe get sidetracked, or maybe do things at 3:00 when you're like, I need a coffee. I shouldn't be writing a whole 50-page PowerPoint deck. Okay, cool. So that's what we know. The truth is you're not dumb. Let's work on your energy management and your time management. What do we know that is true? Give me some evidence to show me that you actually do know what you're talking about. Well, the client loved my presentation. Great. Client loved my presentation. What did your manager say in your last feedback session? Manager said, I'm tracking for the promotion. Okay. So these two things don't ladder up to dumb. These two things ladder up to high performance, but we need to help you maintain that. So I'm using a whiteboard because I'm a visual thinker, a visual learner, and I'm writing down all of these things. I'm circling the patterns for them. Why? Because it's right there on the board. Who they are is showing up in these circles. Time management, energy management, high performance. What do you value? You value this. Okay, great. If I was going to ask your team why they value, what do they say? This. Oh, wow. Interesting similarities. The thing you value about yourself, you think they're going to say the same thing. Like I turn everything into a possibility. Why wouldn't we though? Why wouldn't we? The reason I care so much about this is because I was that kid that didn't feel like I had any potential. Dyslexic, sucked at school. Really, I didn't feel like I belonged at all. I got the lowest SAT scores in my school. I went to a small little private school, and I took them 3 times untimed.
What is it?
And that mattered back then.
So how did you flip that around? Is it something you read, something you saw? Was it a mentor, somebody that taught you how to sort of think differently or kind of challenge your limiting beliefs?
Yeah, well, it's called falling on your butt about 100,000 times and
Adversity.
getting up 101 times and doing it again and again. But I knew that I made very bad choices with bad boys, bad drugs, bad decisions. I didn't like myself. I didn't see the value in myself. I wanted to help people, but I couldn't get out of my own way for a long time. So I had to take a hard look at how I was living my life as a adolescent in early 20s. And I told my parents I needed to find the longest outdoor course I could to get my butt kicked. I found a 93-day wilderness leadership Outward Bound, which was the single greatest thing I've ever done in my life, the first single greatest thing. Then I've done some more. Pivotal moment. And the first day, I'm with 9 young men. I'm 19, they're 18, 19, 20. We're all carrying 80 pounds on our back. We're in the Colorado Rockies. It's snowing. It's October. And we're all traversing up this, we got to climb 1,000 feet until we can put down a tarp, not a tent, and sleep, eat and sleep. And I'm way at the bottom of the line. I'm crying. I want to break my leg, Fred. Please, please, please let me just break my leg.
How old are you? How old are you
19.
at this point? 19. Wow.
19. And I chose this, right? I knew I needed my butt kicked. I needed to come down from wherever I was. And the instructor, a female at that time, she comes all the way down the trail and I'm crying and it's snowing and I hate this and whatever and I'm miserable. And she says to me, Claude, what's going on in your head? And I said to her the following, through my tears, I'm singing that 9 Inch Nails song, head like a hole, black as your soul. I'd rather die than give you control. She looked right at me and she said, you better get another song in your head. And 93 days later, I came out of that program a very different person. Still Claude, still an emotional optimist, all of that. But I learned what it was to be of something bigger in this world. I came out understanding servant leadership, understanding that the emotional qualities I have are actually my superpower. It's okay that I sucked on the SAT scores. No one cares. Really? I came out of there having different narratives in my head. Look what I did. I captained down a Class 5 rapid in the Grand Canyon. I went 18 days at a time without a shower, a phone. We all did, eating government-supplied blocks of cheddar cheese and peanut butter jars. Wow, look what you did.
So it feels like self-esteem as a result of doing something difficult, as opposed to just generally
doing something difficult that I knew had promise for me, though. Doing drugs was difficult too, but there was no promise, right? In many words.
Is there a song that replaced that 9 Inch Nails song? We referenced music a couple of times. Is there like a go-to now when things get rough, or that kind of symbolize your mindset?
There is a song by Block Party called So Here We Are. And it's got a beautiful, little tune to it. And I always say a very meditational quote to myself when I'm listening to it. When I need to ground, I go to music that has a thematic to it, almost like trance music.
Yeah.
I love music is my thing. But I'm into dark music too. I'm into The Cure. I'm going to see them next week. I'm a Depeche Mode girl. You and I are probably of similar generations. And there's nothing wrong.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. 9 Inch Nails is the best, but not
the best
to be feeding myself in a moment of torture.
That's right. So sometimes there's ideas or there's certain kind of lyrics that'll capture our attention, and really they're just mapping onto an emotion or mapping onto a sort of pattern of thinking.
Yeah.
And it's not always positive, right? It's not always. Sometimes
In that moment, it was not positive for me. I needed to hear something different, and I needed to figure that out. It took me good 45 days to, I think, start to change myself.